Hi, everybody. I'm Sydney Lopez. You guys can find me on Instagram with this QR code above me. A little bit about myself. So my mom has been in the industry for almost 50 years. I grew up in the salon, and I believe when I was 3 years old, I had my first perm and my first color, which was the most red hair you've ever seen. So I grew up watching my mom build a really successful business in like a more traditional sense. We went through, for those of you guys who are really young, you may not know what this is, but there's this thing called the Yellow Pages. And it was a phone book that we would put our ads in for Headlines Hair Design in Lincoln, Nebraska that she owned. And that's how she got new clients, and that's how she found people. And we went door to door. And when I got out of cosmetology school, I was 30. I had a different career before this. And I wanted to build a business quickly. And so social media for me was where it was at. I did not know that I would be doing rainbow hair 90% of the time when I went to cosmetology school, but I always tell everybody, whatever you're passionate about, I was able to build an entire following and a clientele based off of 6 heads of hair. So I just kept posting the same girls over and over and over again. Today I want to teach you guys 5 really good key elements to building a strong social media. And for me, I'm not like a really cool person. I am a regular human being who does hair, and I work in the salon way too many hours a week. I own a salon with my mom. I have a 3-year-old and I have an 11-year-old. So I'm just like a real human who figured out how to do it, and I want to help empower you guys to do the same. So if you're not following me, here's my QR code. You can pop that up really quick, and that'll lead you right to my Instagram. And one thing that I heard the Color Collective say earlier today is that they built their entire business on social media off of like real clients. And so one of the things I wanted to encourage you guys about is I used to think you'd have to have model calls to build your social media. That you'd have to have people come in and you'd have to give away free hair all day long to have the perfect photo shoot. Every single person on my page is a paying client that's come in, and I just film what I'm doing behind the chair. And so for those of you guys who've been in the industry for a long time, one of the things you'll hear me say often is the fact that not only do you have so much information, but it's your voice that I really want to amplify, because you have so much to share up here that the rest of us want to hear. So don't be intimidated by the age or how cool you have to be or what your number has to be. I really want you guys to focus today on why you would be on social media in the first place. Are you guys here to build a clientele? One of the things that I love for me with social media is it has opened the door for me to give really, really good customer service. And by that I mean, someone comes in and I say, oh my goodness, Tiffany, I'm so happy that you're here. Not to put you on the spot, but if you guys know me, I'm gonna call you out, so watch out. But Tiffany walks in and I say, oh my gosh, everybody loves your red hair. I cannot wait to take pictures of you today. Are you okay with that? And what that did is it just elevated Tiffany's experience, because now she feels like not only does she love her hair, but I'm really proud of what I did to it, and other people want to see it. The other thing that's opened up doors is all my industry peers. I feel like I know so many people from Instagram and from TikTok, and the thing that's really cool about that is not only can I learn from you guys, but when I started Creative Color about 10 years ago, there was no education out there for creative color. I was literally going to a website that was for people that did their hair at home, teaching them how to do their hair. And so I was like, you know, I've learned so much. My first creative color was 6 hours, and it was literally pink. It was nothing groundbreaking. And I thought, let me start sharing what I've learned with other people. So for those of you guys who've been in the business for a long time, think about what you would teach your apprentices. Think about what you would teach an assistant. That's the kind of valuable information that the rest of our industry would love to hear on social media. And then the other big thing is brand relationships. So for me, this is a perfect example of a relationship I was able to build because of social media. You know, anytime Goldwell launches a new product, I'm going to give you guys a secret, they need content for that product. So when they start talking about their colors of the year, guess what? I'm the squeaky wheel that says, oh, key lime is a color of the year. Let me pull up as many people as I can with key lime hair, and I'm going to send that to Goldwell and say, hey, look, I did your color of the year. Feel free to share it. So it's a good tip if you guys are trying to get on the Goldwell page or on a brand page in general. So one of the questions I get is, Sydney, I am really good at everything. I don't know what to post. I do haircuts, I do colors, I do perms, I do men's cutting, I do creative colors. Well, what I would say is before you start your social media, figure out who your ideal audience is. So this is a screenshot of my page. I hope that what you guys see here, what would attract you to my page is happiness, joy, colorfulness. The other thing that you're going to see is, do you guys see how many times my hands are in the hair? So you're going to learn something from me. So I'm not just thinking through the consumer mind, I'm thinking through the hairstylist mind. So if someone comes to my page, they're going to go, okay, so she's going to teach me something. And then the other big thing that was a huge surprise to me was the fact that I was able to build a community on social media. And what I mean by that is my 4 walls of the salon were expanded big time by the fact that all my clients who knew each other from social media started to become friends. I had a client who last year was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. She's 29 years old, which is crazy. And within 24 hours, I had her permission to post about it on my page and say, hey, what do you need? She doesn't have family. She doesn't really have friends here. My entire clientele had her doctor's appointments covered. They had her visits to the hospital covered. They had her outpatient. And it's because I created a community that I didn't even realize I had created. I created like a safe place. Sorry, I get like emotionally, I like cry happy tears all the time. So if I cry today, that's just like me, just go with it. But I created a really safe place for my clients to feel like they were part of my family, which as a business person and a business owner, think how loyal those clients are, okay? So one of the big questions I get is photography. And I'm going to give you guys, oh no, we went too far. I got too excited. I'm going to give you guys some really good tips on photography, even in the short amount of time we have. So one of the things I teach in my social media classes is how to find your sweet spots. And so by sweet spots, I mean, we've all done this, right? We finish the most amazing head of hair, and then we walk around with our phone and we try to take pictures of that hair. And wherever we go, it doesn't look as good as it really does in person. And you're like on the spot because you're like looking at your client and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is like a great picture, but like, let me move here. Can you move here? Can we do this? And your client's like, what's wrong with my hair? Well, it's because we didn't get the sweet spots. We didn't know where to take that client based on the color that they had in the time of day. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you guys my favorite slide. So this is the same client. This is actually my client who had breast cancer. She said it was okay that I shared that. But also, fun fact about her, so she had level 3 box dyed black hair when she came to me. And it took us like a year and a half to get her this way. So when I finish her hair, the hair that she pays me for is the one in the middle. Okay? So I already know where to take her picture. I know where my platinum blondes look reflective. I know where they look light. I know where they don't look very warm. If you think through the fact that, let's say we go outside and I have platinum blonde hair, and I step out into the sunshine is warm and golden. So it's going to reflect on the left that outdoor sunlight, that warm golden sunlight. Now, let's say we take an umbrella and we put it up over our head. That's going to dissipate that warm sunshine and cool it off. So you've already created a cool light. Now we went upstairs, we rebooked her, she was going out on a hot date. We walk outside and I'm like, oh my goodness, your hair looks gray. So if you think of the night sky, it's like a very periwinkle dark night sky. That's what was reflecting off of her. So what I would challenge you guys to do is find your blondest blonde that works at your salon or your client and take them to every possible photo spot that you can imagine and find where your sweet spots are. Another good tip is the purple hair that I have In some light, it'll look purple. In some light, it'll look pink. In some light, it'll look blue. It's a great way to find where you're going to take pictures. So I visit a lot of salons, like hundreds of them. And they always show me, we have this most amazing photo spot. And I look and I think, well, it's pretty. It looks great. But let me show you guys where I take pictures. In a parking garage. That's 37 years old. It's dark and dingy and terrifying. But you know what's so great about it? That's where my good light is. So when you get back to your salons and you start thinking through where you're going to take pictures, stop thinking about the background, because nobody cares about the background. What they care about is the hair. So you want to find the reflective light. You want to find what it looks like in person. This like pastel periwinkle is so beautiful, but I had to find the right light for it. So what's behind your client is really no longer relevant. What people care about and the value you have to bring is based on the hair. Couple other things I want to point out with photography. Every time I visit a salon, I have yet to see this done right. Every salon is taking pictures too far away or videos too far away. It would be like if I decided to teach you guys from all the way back here. Do you guys feel super connected to me? No. So when you have the opportunity to make an impact on someone's phone or on someone's feed, you want to be up close and personal. I would jump off the stage and be down there if they would let me, so I could be close to you guys. So the closer you can make your photos, the better. I have a video, if you guys want to scan it. I didn't want to take up 5 minutes of my time, of my 15 minutes, playing a video for you. But this is an actual client in my parking garage, and I show you guys exactly how to photograph your clients. Okay, the most important slide, if you don't hear anything else from me, hear this one. One of the things that goes around a lot is the word engagement or algorithm when it comes to any sort of social media. And what I would say is, if you understand this, okay, the amount of time that somebody spends on your post will ultimately determine the value that you bring to the platform you're on. So for example, you post one single image and it's the most amazing hair image you've ever posted. Yet I post a reel that's 10 seconds of that same hair, and I show a before, a during, and an after. I have 10 times the ability to capture someone's time than you have. Let's say I add in to the caption the formulation and everything you need to know about that head of hair. Now I've captured your time reading it. So I maybe captured 15 seconds of your time. What Instagram does is they test out your post within the first hour, and however well that post performs will ultimately determine your reach in the next hour. They send it out to 10% of your followers. If I had more time, I'd go over each analytic with you. But what's really great is you can see who's following you and what times of data posts based on your own analytics, okay? Couple things we're gonna talk about here as we wrap up. One of the questions I get all the time is, what do I write in my post? Well, the biggest thing you guys can do in a caption is stop giving descriptive words and start giving value. So if you can give a formulation, if you're simply trying to get clients, what the client would want to know is, how much maintenance does this take? How often does this client come in? How do you maintain it at home? What does the upkeep look like? If you're speaking to stylists, then we want to know the formulas. We want to know how long it took. A lot of the times I get questions about my pricing because people sit in my chair for 8 hours. That's a long time with somebody. And then the brand pages. If you guys want to get reposted, these are the Goldwell hashtags. Go Goldwell, Goldwell approved, I am Goldwell, Veris approved. And then, if you guys are trying to build your business locally, start using local hashtags. If you're like me and you're an educator, I've decided after today I want to go to Australia because there's so many cool Australian salons here. So I'm going to start tagging Australia as an educator to try to get my name out there. And then the last one is personal hashtags. So we have Good Hair Day by Sid Lopez on every tag, Upstyled by Sid, and then my salon city and name. So as we wrap up, if you guys just want to kind of remember these 5 things we talked about: defining your social purpose, curating your profile to really speak to what I always say, what makes your heart flutter. Photography tips and tricks, you guys, I give those away all the time on my page. You can find so many. Also, the key here is engagement. The more time you take up, the more valuable you become to the platform you're trying to make an impact on. And then lastly, posting. I feel like a lot of the times we do all this work, and then we get to the posting, and it's like, oh, it's so much work. Don't quit then. Add your value and think through your mission statement, and then that will all kind of come to fruition. That was a fast and furious 15 minutes of social media. But you guys, I'm really easy to find on Instagram and TikTok. I am going to step down, and if y'all have any questions, I'm wearing a really hot pink jacket for a reason. But thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope that you guys got something to take away from that.